Alright, so in this, we had finished number 81 yesterday. Now, number 82 is going to build on top of like skills that you learned in 81.
Hi, teacher B.
Hi, Kevin.
Still creepy.
We need to do it in Spanish for those of our viewers that.
Hola, señor Kevin.
Hola. Literally, you want to use this video to use.
Can we please say
The grand total of 20 subscribers I've got is from like 3 kids every year. It's like, oh, I don't want to miss a video.
Okay.
I think I subscribed
I'll
on
say it in
accident one
Spanish.
day.
Hola, teacher yo.
Hola,
señor Kevin.
I like that better.
Yeah. It's very
Let's learn a different language over there.
Yes. We'll learn a different language.
German tomorrow.
We cussing on there.
Well, the only people that
The
would
subtitles
know
will be like unintelligible.
So,
people that would know are
here's the key. Alright?
I can't.
You might want to get your video for this.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
It's not related to this. Is that okay? Tomorrow when we do the intro, can we all stand in front of the camera and I'll sign out "Hello, future me" in sign language, and then everyone behind me can do it.
Let's do it.
Can we learn it?
We gotta learn it.
I'll send it to the group.
Okay.
Alright.
Jesus.
So, here's the thing. Number 82 says 5 forces act on the object in figure 24 below. Force 1, 60 newtons at 90 degrees. Force 2 is 40 newtons at 0 degrees. Force 3 is 80 newtons at 270 degrees. Force 4 is 40 newtons at 180 degrees, and force 5 is 50 newtons at 60 degrees.
Yeah, sometimes.
What are the magnitude and direction of a 6 force that would produce equilibrium? Here's how you gotta work this. We're trying to cancel the force that's acting out, completely cancel it out to where the net forces would be equal to 0. So we need a net force of 0. This is going to happen how you guys wanted to do it yesterday. You figure something out, then you're just going to take the magnitude of it, but you're going to flip it at 180 degrees. So this is the key. Look, all of these blue lines are different forces. Okay? This blue line that's number 2 and this blue line that's number 1 is not the component forces for the 5th blue line. They're totally separate forces. The reason we give you problems like this is it really checks to see if you know what you're doing. You have 4 forces that line up on the coordinates,
Yes.
on the axis. Since it lines up on the axis, you don't have to worry about breaking it into component vectors. But force 5, you have to do trig and break it into component vectors.
What problem is it?
Then,
On where? On
this
what
is
page?
page 146.
146.
Man, I totally messed that up on the book. On that video I labeled. I'm pretty sure I put 116.
Let's find out.
So in this, you have to get the component vectors. Then you have to add up all of the net. You have to find the net force in the x direction and the net force in the y direction. So we have to add all the forces acting in x together, all the forces acting in the y together. Then we're literally just going to change them. We can get a little creative. This is where physics, there's more than one way to do this. So you get the opportunity to do it how you want. But the big thing of it is, I'm not going to bring this back on the screen. You have a book. You can look in your book. Whenever I'm labeling out and talking to these forces, what?
I don't have a book.
There's
Somebody.
a book there in that desk.
Somebody's put my book.
You need mine because I need it.
So in this, number 82, the big important thing is breaking that 5th force apart. So we have this 5th force.
Jesus Christ. It's good.
So this is the 5th force, and the 5th force is equal to 50 newtons. Now,
What page?
146.
Oh, curly Pew.
We have this red, which is the y component. So This is force 5 Y component.
What's the beside of the 5?
Have your attention, please. Jaden Booth, report to the office. Jaden Booth.
Size of what 5? I got like 3 different files in here.
Okay, so the one on the right top.
TH for fifth.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so this is
That looks like plus N.
fifth force, X component. Now in this, the important aspect is, remember that you have an angle, and leveled out to us, it is 60 degrees.
Can we try to know?
So in this, I'm going to pull on you a little bit today.
Can we try this tomorrow?
Of course, there goes my confidence.
Yeah.
I never had it.
Why are you doing that?
Not an S or a
Zero.
5.
It's zero.
That is a 5.
It's zero.
It is not 0. It can't be 0.
Okay, what's the F net?
It was yesterday.
So,
I'm convinced that half of y'all do not listen
I do.
when I speak.
That's why I said
What is F net? What are we finding?
zero.
The net force.
No, you.
F net is zero.
F net is not 0.
It's a different problem.
We're currently looking for equilibrium. We're trying to get it
Equilibrium
to
means zero.
No.
Okay, so anyway, we're doing this. This is opposite, so it would be 50 newtons times the sine of 60 degrees.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
How have we know it was?
I have been trying to do that, and it's
Does
not
it
working.
set it in the problem?
Did you,
That probably helped.
oh, I done the negative. I done the negative one.
So I get 43,
On the second
Oh, it's
side.
60.
3, 0, 1,
yeah.
3 newtons. That's the A Y component for the fifth force. Now I need the fifth force X component, which will be equal to the 50 newtons. It's adjacent, so this is cosine. 60 degrees.
25.
Okay, may I ask? I'm sorry that I'm gonna sound stupid because I never had trig.
25 newtons.
How do you know like offset
Good
energy?
job.
I stand.
This goes back to what I said yesterday. You were the one touches the angle.
Adjacent would, oh, the Pac-Man.
Yes.
Okay, so like opposite.
If Pac-Man
is
opens
what-
to it,
is
it's
what he's
opposite.
eating.
Yeah.
Opposite. His mouth is adjacent.
Hold on, what?
And how
What?
about you?
No sense whatsoever.
If you understand how to get opposite or adjacent, then don't worry about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The important thing of it is, it's coming from this angle. Okay? The one that's opposite of it, where it opens up to, that's the opposite side. The one that's part of it
Adjacent.
is adjacent.
Wait.
So if the angle is touching it, adjacent. Except for hypotenuse, which the hypotenuse is always opposite. The right angle.
Soccer table.
Okay. So now in this, we need to find these net forces. So net force, X component, is equal to, we have the X component of the fifth force, which is 25 newtons, plus, then I'm just going to start working around. I'm going to start on the X-axis and go around. So I have the 40 newtons. Then you look over on the other side. There is a 40 newtons again that goes in the negative X direction, which now means that that has to be negative.
Can we just not write the 40 newtons at all? Because they cancel
You
out.
can.
Okay.
I'm writing it because somebody be like, what about those? What do we do those? This is what we did.
So,
Because, look, positive 40 newtons, negative 40 newtons. What are those going to do? They are adding, so they cancel. So the X component is 25 newtons.
I didn't realize you mock us sometimes. A lot of the time.
80.
I do. I admit to this.
It's just now like clicking in my head.
Is that a Christmas cup?
It is.
What?
It is. My wife got it for me for
The
Christmas.
Starbucks cup.
It's
So,
Tell us joy and true.
the net force Y component.
Christmas.
So I have 43.3013 newtons, which is the Y component of the fifth force. And I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm adding to that 60 newtons, which is force 1. But
Wait.
then I have 80 newtons.
When?
Where did the 60 newtons come from?
It goes on.
Will come problem 82.
Is that the?
Why do we-
You're getting that from Figure 24, right?
What do
Yes.
you want?
Why do we grab the 60 and the 80 then?
Because you're going in the Y
Because you're
direction.
We're in
finding
the Y
all of
directions.
Y.
Oh, I got
Because
you.
it's
now, my
going in
bad.
the negative Y.
We're dealing with the components.
I got you.
Okay. So now in this, we added 60, but then we also have to add 80 newtons, but the 80 newtons is heading in the negative Y direction.
But tell me I got this right.
Chrissy, don't be using check, it's cheating.
Huh? Are we using what?
Check.
Yeah.
Check is something you'll use
I
in
might
college.
think it's really bad.
I know.
But you said
I
it's
know
cheating,
other
and if
songs.
we cheat in college,
Some people
We're
look at it like that. So 23.3013 newtons. So there
that's
are my
right.
component vectors.
Okay, is that the answer?
No.
Do you ever think the first number we get in here is ever the answer?
It's not the first
Sometimes.
number we
If it's
have.
not
Okay.
all
Wait.
pages, then it's not.
So here's the thing. You can do this in two different ways. It's down to you. So the first way, we can label this out. We can do Pythagorean theorem, find the hypotenuse, find the angle, and add 180 degrees to it so it's in the opposite direction.
or
Or
Do it on the calculator.
we can take these numbers, because the sixth force that will negate this net force is equal in magnitude, but opposite in direction. Change the sign, so we change the direction. Then we can build our triangle, do Pythagorean theorem and find the hypotenuse.
no, the first one.
Then we can do trig, find the angle,
No.
The
and you're
first
still
one.
going to have to add 180.
Let's do the
Number
first
one.
choice.
Well, I'm thinking the point of
Let's
it.
go with door number 1.
It really doesn't matter how you do it, it's just two separate ways.
Okay, so the second separate way is basically like you find the triangle and angle, and then you find the Pythagorean theorem and all that, right?
You're literally looking at doing this. Either way you're going to be doing this, okay? You're going to be doing the same steps, it's just different orders that you're going to do it in. So you guys want to go with option 1, stick with what we got, find the angle, add 180?
Yeah.
Okay, good
We
idea.
always love to do a good old Pythagorean theorem.
Oh, well, you're drawing another diagram.
Because this is physics.
I think that's why this class starts to go downhill.
So,
Yeah.
So we got 25 newtons in the x direction. It's positive, so we go in the positive direction. So we start here.
So this we're trying to find net force.
No, you're trying to find the sixth force. You already found the net force.
We did?
Well,
Okay.
you're trying to find the true net force,
Okay.
but you're really trying to find the sixth force.
So it would be F6, the net.
So 25 newtons. Then we go up 23.3013 newtons because it's positive
It would be
in a positive direction in the y.
the
Do
net
we-
force of the sixth one, basically. Like,
What?
okay, so in the Pythagorean theorem, we do the Pythagorean theorem, right? You're doing the net of x and net of y. But what's that equal? That equals the sixth force, but how? You said you could do it and then do the Pythagorean theorem.
Wait. Am I done?
Nope.
Just chill. You're trying to jump 2 steps ahead of me. Listen, the thought process is okay, but wait a little bit.
I don't want it.
I have a
Too
question.
patient.
Yeah, well,
Do I have to draw out that like thing, or can I just do it triangle?
Hey, if you just wanna do it, buddy, you do it. You better know
So
where
we're
you're lined up
drawing
at
the
though, cause you're not always gonna be in the first coordinate.
How do you know what coordinate you're
Depending on the signs that you're given for your net forces,
Oh
the
my
X and Y
God.
components.
Yeah.
Okay, looks like I'm learning trig this
So,
weekend.
in this, we need to find that side, which is green. That is going to be the true net force. So the net force is equal to the square root of.
in? Who just found the net force?
You found the X and Y components of the net force.
Freaking on my.
Did some of them come to see you? Cause I told them.
They have. I've had
All right,
several. You
good.
are hunting them down.
Yep.
You're doing good. Thank you, Miss Adams. So 23.3013 newtons squared plus 25 newtons squared.
What I had. Okay. The
Math.
the thing that
This
I
is
was
a
asking
Pythagorean
was
34.1753.
Right?
at this point you put F net, but
Is that
you
what you
said
got?
that we're trying to find the sixth force.
I'm fine with that.
You are.
Oh. But we
So
got
So
to
we have to
That
find
one
the net
first.
force first.
Yeah.
Yes.
You said we don't
Okay.
have the net force, mister.
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
34.1753 newtons.
Goodness gracious, Mr. Holmes.
Now, that's your net force.
Is that the answer?
No, because you dealt with magnitude. Now we got to deal with direction.
Stick a negative in front of it.
What?
Negative.
That's not going to work.
Why not?
Because you're in two dimensions. When you're dealing with this, what do we talk about in directions?
How about?
Angles.
So we need to times
But-
980.
But it all depends.
No,
on the
we
reference
have
point.
to find. This is what I'm saying. Now, give me a second here, people.
My
Okay.
reference point is 0.
If you're changing your reference point to being 0, you got a whole lot of flipping and different math to do. We need to find theta,
Oh, God.
which is here. Theta with that number is the net force. Since you've done it this way, you just have to add 180 to that. Because what's the sixth force that would cancel this out? The sixth force
Oh, negative.
is 180 degrees of that. But it's the same number. So it would be 34.1753 newtons, but we need the whole angle for it. So we're going to need from theta,
Yeah.
Inverse tangent.
Yeah.
we got to add from here, from that green line, we got to do 180 plus. So we got to come all the way around to here.
That's stupid.
I wasn't sure what sign.
I'm going to call this.
When you draw it out, it's
This is
easier to
beta.
realize what angle you're looking for.
I thought we
I
didn't
knew I
have to
had to
find
use-
beta if it was in.
That's
first
all
Like I knew I
order.
had to use those numbers.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to use
That's right.
my reference point, and that would have been my
For which.
Your answer is not in the first
the
quadrant.
last part right here.
The net force is in the first quadrant.
Angle.
You're in the third
How
quadrant.
would you say it? I was using that.
How do you know that it's 180 degrees?
Yeah.
Wait.
Opposite.
Because they have to be completely opposite. What's a full circle? 360. So 180 is half. It'll make it complete opposite. So in this, trying to find theta would be the inverse tan.
This is what I don't understand.
So opposite, which is 23.3013 newtons, divided by adjacent, which is 25 newtons. And I get 42.9858 degrees. No, that's not the answer.
Now you have to add 180.
We had to add 180 to that. So for us to find beta, beta is equal to theta plus 180 degrees, which would be equal to 42.9858 degrees plus 180 degrees give me 222.9858 degrees. So the 6 fours, or 4 6,
So it would be 34.1753 newtons at 222.9858 degrees.
beautiful job.
And that's it.
Yeah,
No more tricks.
I didn't think it was really tricky. Like that.
I vote we do one ourselves now.
Yeah.
No.
So you got these 6 fours will be 34.1753 newtons at 222.9858 degrees. Guys, this is the key here on this. You have to add the angle in there. If you don't have the angle in there with that magnitude, then you don't have direction and you're wrong. Has to be in there. Questions?
Can we try one ourselves?
Yeah, we need.
I have a question on like
Sure, shoot for
the,
83.
Can you put
the
83
inverse
on the
No.
board?
tangent. How does that start out?
Oh,
When you do the saving?
No bueno.
Then we start out.
Sorry, no.
Post it. So whenever you're looking at that, Maddie, this is how it's going to look. So you got to look at tan theta is equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So the 23.3013 newtons divided by the 25 newtons.
As
Now here's the thing, what are you looking for here? You're looking for the angle. Whenever you're trying to find the angle, you have to do the inverse operation here. So what we have, yeah,
Can you use that if you're given like the angle and everything, and you're trying to find like the opposite or the adjacent? Can you use that for me?
yeah.
Okay.
As long as you got an angle on the side, you can find the other side. But in this case, I'm trying to find that angle. So to do that, it's kind of like if I was trying, these are trig functions, so they operate in a totally different set of rules. So they actually have complete inverse functions. You got to look at the trig functions. They're called trig functions because they are functions. So in it, you have to do the inverse of that function, which we have named them the inverse name of that function. So, like if I was multiplying on one side and I needed to get something by itself, I would divide. That's the inverse of it. So in this case, I need to do the same thing, but it's not like I'm actually dividing out. That you do that, you get a totally different trig function. You have to do an inverse function. So you'll get theta is equal to the inverse function of the 23.3013 newtons divided by 25 newtons. Okay?
Okay.
And the newtons cancel, which is why you're left
You
with
get
the angle.
degrees.
Degrees. Questions? Christy, who are you texting?
My mommy.
Tell your mommy you're in physics.
She knows I'm in physics. You wasn't doing nothing. You was talking to Maddie. I know how to do that.
Something.
That's literally me in calculus. She's like, so time to turn in your work. And you're like, well, you didn't do nothing. That's something. I don't know what it is.
Oh
It's
gosh, she
something.
killed me in problem stat. Miss Albright killed me because of that. I never got anything lower than an A on a test, but I ended up with a B in problem stat because I never did my homework.
Yep.
I should have done my homework, but I never did.
Literally.
It's okay. You don't have to lie like that.
Literally.
I should have done my homework. Okay. Any questions?
How do I do 83 without a link?
Well, he's not even on 83 there, Logan.
Oh, y'all wanted to do one by yourself, so I was going to
Wait a minute.
I
Never
told
mind.
you
Never
no.
mind. Never mind.
I ain't doing it.
Why?
I
Guitar.
Y'all. We're
All right,
like,
look at 83. Joe wishes to hang a sign weighing 7.50 times 10 to the second newtons, so that cable A attached to the store makes a 30-degree angle as shown in figure 25. Cable B is horizontal and attached to an adjoining building. What is the tension in cable B?
So would we make the 30 degree first?
Joe's Crab Shack.
I
why?
wasn't impressed.
Hold on. Hold on, why would you suspend a cable like that?
You tell me. There's a point behind it.
To keep it level.
So let's take a look at it. I'm not going to do any math. I'm going to do the physics part.
Oh,
I'm working on this.
What?
Okay.
shiny.
So whenever you look at this, think about it. Free body diagram.
Yeah.
So it says that it has we hang a sign weighing 7.50 times 10 to the second newtons. What is weigh?
If
Put a T at the end.
Yeah.
Wait.
Weight. What is weight?
Kilograms.
No. Mass times gravity.
Force of gravity.
Where is weight found?
Force of gravity equals mass.
Force of gravity, but where is it found? Free body diagram. Right here's your center point.
And you're down.
You're straight
I don't
down.
know. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, you're
Okay.
straight down.
Then down.
Wait, the weight.
So they give you that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So you have this force. So we have force of G. So we know that the sign's hanging. Does that mean the sign is falling down?
No.
No,
No, it's stationary. So what does that mean in terms of forces in the y direction?
Normal for force is the opposite of that.
Whoa, and this is why this
No,
is a
it's
great problem.
suspended.
It's suspended, not on a surface, so it's nothing to do with the normal force.
It's the cable.
The cable.
It's the force that the
Okay.
cable's acting on.
So the cable,
Please.
because look at the
750.
look at the cable. If you come from here, you have this force, right?
Yeah.
We have the force.
I'm
Hey.
sorry, but the only thing I can think of is if that cable snaps, that sign is going straight into that window below it. Like, it's just
No,
gonna
it'll
pop,
drop
like
lower.
straight.
no, it would drop.
No.
So in this,
like right there.
think. That's at a 30-degree angle.
Okay. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're trying to find the missing.
So you tell me what's keeping it from falling.
Science.
This right here.
Okay.
This is, I call it force of A, Y component.
So is that the,
Okay, can
So
I
That's
use,
not it. Force of A, Y component is equal to, but opposite, force of gravity.
Can I
yeah, so
can I use something to kind of like help me? Can I have that mask real quick?
The what?
The so this right here, right? You grab this and you
Jasmine,
put
Street
your
Manager,
pin,
report to room 1051, please.
but when you put your pin on it and you hang it straight across, you got that, right? But if you hold it up like this, it's straight. And that's what's happening here. I was confused because of the cable, why it's up like that. But it helps me because if you do this straight across, it's going down. But if you do it like that, the pin is straight.
The pin is straight down in both cases.
Yeah, it's over here.
It
No,
doesn't change.
the cable, if you have it straight across like this, the cable would be
Both
sitting
sides
in the middle.
are going down. But when you turn
It would, but when you do this up,
there's more force
It's
acting
more
on your
straight.
upside than there is your
like it's not dipping. You kind of get what I'm saying?
What was it that we
Okay.
did inverse sign?
Okay, hold on. Now here's the thing. What are you being asked for? The tension in cable B, that's a force. Tension is a force.
side.
So when you're looking at this, how are we going to find the force of tension B?
We gotta
You
find,
found-
What is keeping it from moving in the X direction?
we gotta find force of
Friction.
X first.
No friction.
The
How about the force of a
That's why.
X component?
Good job.
Because in what direction is the force of A the X component going?
It's going left, which means
What is
well,
A?
B's gonna have to cancel it out.
So they're canceling each other out. So I can say force of a X component is equal to, but opposite, the force of B.
So the tension is just gonna be
Hey.
this force
So then
then?
wouldn't they both be?
Hey, wait
Yeah,
a
this
minute.
right here is tension.
Wait
So
a
then,
minute.
okay, I got you.
I think before when I labeled this stuff
That's
is
60 degrees.
yes, so force,
Yeah.
tension, and B. I've labeled it that before.
Oh,
Wait,
tell me if I'm anywhere
if you-
close to this.
Let me get my notebook.
that's at 60 degrees because
'Cause,
the thing
I'm not feeling
is
it.
30 and then that's a 90 degree.
Yes.
Apologies for interrupting. Mr. Rose has tennis matches on Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Yeah.
He's unable to announce at our ball games on Monday and Tuesday. Are you available?
Hold on one second.
Thank you.
Cranked it up.
I don't know what you're talking
Are
about.
you okay, Liv?
I'm so tired. It's bad.
Liv is gonna go into a coma.
I really think I might.
I would not be available Monday, but I am Tuesday.
Okay, so Tuesday, if you can do that, we sure would appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. I'll mark you down.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I just realized that she heard me saying that Liv is going to go into a coma.
I'm sure she's heard worse.
Yeah. Oh, Colby Vargas.
Oh, Lord.
Okay.
And then,
Well, can you,
Yeah. Hold on. That's after this notebook.
I mean, I got the angle down, but that's it.
No, Mr. Hall. No, Mr. Hall.
No, that ain't bad.
No, Mr. Hall.
Not bad.
Look
at
what
all.
you did.
What'd I do?
Mr. Hall, what's the
Can I-
answer to this?
what did you get? I don't
You
understand
can.
what it does.
Guys, I'm going to. Because I'm all about doing as little as I can to solve for something.
You look
Let me get rid of chemistry here.
Yeah, they're 18.
30, and you already have this, because this has to cancel that out, right?
Yeah, I got that.
And that is that.
Yes, I got that.
Alright, this thing is broke for a triangle for you already. Don't make this thing harder than what it is.
That tangent of 30 degrees
When you look at it,
is opposite over adjacent. Opposite over that. And so you multiply 30 degrees by 750 in order to get this.
okay, we're trying to find this.
Since this
Which we
side
labeled
is
the force
opposite
of-
that, it's-
Force of A in the X direction, or facts if you want to call it facts. Okay, in this, we said we have the force
get it.
of A in the Y direction.
Keep walking.
That force of A in the Y direction
Because he did the same color, and I'm like, oh.
is equal to the opposite force of gravity.
I'm doing.
In this case, I'm seriously just using it for a triangle. So I really don't even care about that negative sign because I'm talking length. So the force of a Y component is equal to
Oh, okay.
that, was it 750 newtons?
Yeah.
That's literally what it broke down to. I'm doing 750 newtons because I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was 7.50 times 10 to the second newtons. You throw that out, it's 750. So in this, you can replace this with 750 newtons. That gives you a side. Now you need an angle. We give you the angle right there attached to the building. You have this right here is 30 degrees. If you want to, you can absolutely look and say this is 60 degrees. I don't care. However, whatever you want to do. In this case, when you look at this is the right angle, so that's the hypotenuse. I'm here. I have the adjacent, I need the opposite. I'm going to use the tangent
Hey, that's what I was talking about a second
is equal
ago.
to opposite facts, as Thomas called it, and 750 newtons. Theta is for our angle, it's 30 degrees. So now we'll have facts is equal to 750 newtons times the tangent of 30 degrees.
No way. Mr. Hall, there's a simpler way to do this. I got the same answer. 433 7.0127, right?
That sounds about right.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Everything's right, but you didn't put units.
Listen,
So I'll yell at you later.
your method that you did worked, I just did it wrong. If you set this up as a proportion, opposite the 60 is square root of 3. If you set this up, square root of 3 over
So
750.
you're using 30, 60, 90 triangle.
Yes.
Yeah, it works.
How did you get 750?
7.5. 0 times 10 to the second. What's 10 to the second? That's 100.
Well, I don't know.
What's 100 times 7.50?
Is that how you do that?
750. You say move your decimal, so help me.
Scooch it.
Okay, so whenever you do that,
Say
and you punch it in the calculator, I'm not going to punch it in to save me time, you'll get
God. Come on.
Yeah, I will.
2.7 newtons. Now this is the thing. This is going in the negative direction. So if you want to be all technical and everything, you can throw a negative sign there. So that whenever you come over here,
Class is over, sorry.
no it ain't. You're group C, class ain't over yet.
No, we're gonna release it all at once.
So whenever you look at it, the force B is equal to, but opposite, force effect. Opposite
Order to the office.
is equal to. So in this case, it is, force of B is 433.0127 newtons.
But would it be
How
set
did you
like
get
negative?
on the other one?
Because it's going in the negative direction. It's going to the left.
Yeah, son.
This is where physics goes outside of what you guys are accustomed
We
to.
can still use the Cartesian system, though.
You can.
I like that.